Today I'm going to be answering one of the most commonly asked questions that we get on the vlog. Why does Andy get a taxi to school? Why don't I just drive him? But first, an apology. This is going to be just a me sitting talking to you vlog, and it's not even deliberate, and it's not even to do with laziness or forgetting to do the vlog. I've turned the camera on this morning, taken the SD card out of the camera this morning to plug it into my laptop to edit together today's vlog, and there's nothing on it. So all of the stuff I recorded yesterday, to be fair, there wasn't a massive amount, but everything I recorded yesterday is gone. So I'm now on Friday morning recording Thursday's vlog. I have already done this, so it'll be more polished and excellent this time. The only bit that wasn't me talking to you that you've missed is that the saga of Andy's taxi continued yesterday. Not only were they a couple of minutes late again, but without any notice, without telling us that they were doing it, they sent a different car, rather than it being the taxi that he likes, with the stump and the London Eye and the red arrows and all of his favourite things on the side. It was like it was a taxi designed specifically for him, which it wasn't, but it looks like it is. That one didn't come. And also the PA who normally travels with him didn't come. The guy who's normally the driver of the other taxi acted as the PA, so he's the guy who came to the door. He's the guy who sat with Andy, and some other random guy who Andy's never met before was driving it. And it was a minibus. There was no other kids on it, but it was a minibus. There was a little bit of a wobble. He wasn't really sure what was going on. He did eventually go, because the TA that he's got at school now is doing such a good job with him that he wanted to go and see her. So we can kind of use go and see Ola, and that's enough to get him to school now, which is positive. A little bit concerning long term. We need to get a few more people there that he's got that kind of bond and relationship with, because obviously if she has a day off sick, then that could cause a massive problem. And we were worried, what if this day when the taxi's already messed up, the PA's already not there, he goes in and she's not there? That's the sort of thing that could set us right back to square one. But luckily she was there, and he did have a really good day at school again, so good. But this taxi thing is getting silly now. It's been a week of just messing us about. They were late on Tuesday. They were late because they were stuck at level crossing. They were late on Wednesday because there was a road closure, and they were really late on Wednesday. It was like half an hour late. And then on Thursday, without any warning, without any notice, it's a different vehicle and different people. It's not really ideal for a taxi company that are supposed to be for autism. It's supposed to be autism specialist taxi company, going to an autism specialist school. You'd think they'd understand the value of routine and the importance of a consistent time, consistent car, consistent people, if for no other reason than we spelt that out to them when they came to meet us in the summer, and made it very clear that above all else, don't make any changes without telling us you're making them. And it's just been one thing after another this week, which hasn't been ideal. And it has sort of been raising that question. That's why I wanted to answer the question about why does he get the taxi rather than us just driving him. We do get that question quite regularly, along with the, why don't you just get a car? I've got a car, it's over there, but I don't drive him to school in it. And there's a couple of reasons why we don't drive him, both historical reasons and reasons where we're kind of forward thinking, looking at how things are going to develop over the next months and years. The historical reason why I haven't been driving him to school is because up until the end of last school year, I was working as a teacher. So I had to be at school the same hours he had to be at school, or slightly longer, because, you know, teachers don't get to walk out at 3:15. It's sometimes nearly 3:20 when you walk out the door as a teacher. But because I had to be at school for the hours that he was at school, there was just no way that I could possibly drive him, because I was at work. Anna doesn't drive, and we only have one car, and I was driving the car to work in the opposite direction to what his school is, and even if I was going the same way, the timings wouldn't work. Even if I was in walking distance, Anna doesn't drive. There was just no way to do it. So he got a taxi. And it's not that we're getting any special treatment because we're gaming the system or any silly nonsense like that. It's no different to any other kid getting a free bus pass to get to school, because the school that the local authority have placed Andy in is so far away from home. He qualifies for free transport for school just like any other kid would. It's nothing to do with autism or disability. I forget what the rule is. It's either if you're more than 2 miles or more than 4 miles. It's one of those two. But if you're more than a certain distance away from the school that the local authority allocate to you, you qualify for free transport to and from school through the council. That's usually in the form of a bus pass, unless you're in an area where there isn't a bus that runs to you, in which case the council put on a taxi for you. In both of the schools I've worked in previously, there's been a small number of kids who get a local authority taxi to school every day because of where they live. And that's nothing to do with disability, that's just the way it is. It's the way the system works. It's so that people don't get disadvantaged based on where they live. So he qualifies for transport anyway. That would, in an ideal world for everybody, be the school minibus. There is a school minibus. They don't have a full-on school bus like a normal school would, because there's only like 50 kids in the school in total, and they are sort of scattered around South Lincolnshire. So they're in our little town, or certainly in our direction, there's maybe a half dozen kids who all go to the same school and have previously all been picked up in the same minibus. It's how he was getting to school before he started refusing, and they would just go around, pick the kids up one by one from home into the minibus, and then they'd go off to school. But the reason he doesn't do that at the moment is because one of the reasons why he stopped attending school was because not only was he having problems in school where he was getting attacked and bitten and scratched and whatever else, but he was also having problems on the bus itself. They would sit him next to another kid who would sort of scratch at him, poke at him, prod at him, make really loud sudden noises in his ears, and he just couldn't handle that environment of being sort of squashed into the back of a minibus with a load of other kids who don't want to be there. They would all play off each other, and in the end, it's one of the reasons why Andy just decided he wasn't going to be part of that anymore. So even before we got into the full 18 months of not going to school, there was a period where we were trying him in an individual taxi at the school's suggestion. It wasn't our suggestion. So it's not, again, it's not us trying to force extra stuff out of the system. It's what the system provides. They did try him in an individual taxi, but by that point he was kind of turned off to the whole idea of leaving the house. His anxiety had fully set in, and we kind of got to the point where they weren't even sending the taxi anymore, which was fine because he wouldn't have got in it if they did. So historically, they're the reasons why he gets a taxi, because Anna hasn't been able to drive him, I haven't been able to drive him, and he qualifies for one. But when we have circumstances like we've got this week, or like we've had this week, where we're starting to have a few problems with the taxi, where they're coming late, they're making changes, they're swapping things around, believe me, there are times when I'm tempted to just put him in the back of the car and drive him, because I've said that to you guys a couple of times this week. At what point in a morning where the taxi is late and he's ready to go to school, he's getting distressed because he's not gone yet, at what point do we just say, right, forget the taxi for today, let's go in the car? We could do that. Now I'm not working as a teacher anymore. Now I'm working from home. Now I'm self-employed, carer, whatever you want to call it. But now I'm doing this. I am here. I'm always here when he leaves for school in the morning. I'm always here when he gets home from school in the afternoon. I could take him in my car, but the reason at the moment we're choosing not to, and again, it's not just our decision, although we do support the decision, but it's a decision that's been made with us, with the school, with the social worker, with the doctors. Everybody concerned with him feels that it's better for his long-term development when it comes to social skills and interaction, all these things that we talk about, the reasons why he goes to school. Refer back to the homeschooling video we did a week or two back for why they're the most important things about him going to school and why we don't homeschool him. But the idea of him eventually going back to getting the minibus, being in a situation with other children, being in a situation where he would prefer not to be in, but is trained to cope with it, that's really good for his long-term development. Because if we do look into the future, I mean, it's only been in the last week or two that we've been fairly confident that I'm not going to have to go back to work anytime soon, as all the numbers and things looks like they're starting to work. But in reality, at the moment, the numbers only work for as long as Anna's at university. So she's got a 3-year degree. At the end of her 3 years, unless we've found more income streams, so YouTube has grown or the books have grown, we've written another book maybe, whatever it might be, unless there's other sources of income coming in, once she's not at university anymore, so she's not getting her student finance anymore, then I'll almost certainly have to go back to teaching, at least part-time. So and that will coincide with when he's just moving into post-16 education. So he'll still be at his school, but moving into the next phase of it. And that phase for him will be all about the transition into what comes next. And what comes next, depending on how the next 3 years go, might be college, it might be sixth form within his current school, it might be transitioning him into some kind of work, some kind of assisted living situation. We don't know what it will be yet. There's lots of different things that could develop over that time, but because it's going to be such an important transitional time for him, as well as potentially being a really transitional time for us, I might just be transitioning back into work after 3 years of self-employment. Anna might be or should be transitioning from university into her first job with a degree. So there's going to be big change for me and Anna and Andy. It's not a good time to suddenly say to him, oh, and by the way, I'm not driving you to school anymore, you're going to start getting this minibus. Remember how much you used to hate that, because it just has the potential to make everything go wrong. Whereas if he's spent 3 years getting in the taxi every day, he's used to it, he knows that's how he gets to school. When that time comes, he'll just carry on getting in the taxi and we can go off to work and all will be good. So that's our sort of looking into the future reason why he gets a taxi to school. But I mean, the most important things, bottom line thing, it's not that we send him in a taxi because we're lazy, because we would take him, we have taken him before, but it's a joint decision amongst everybody involved in it that it's better for him to go in the taxi. So we're not lazy, and it's not a money thing either. He's not getting any special treatment because of his autism. He's not getting any special treatment because I'm not working. He's getting exactly what any other kid would get, disabled or not, parents in work or not. Any kid who lives this far away from the school that has been allocated to them qualifies for free transport, and if they're not in an area or they're not able to access the school bus, that free transport then becomes a taxi. There's loads of taxi companies out there that are set up specifically for the purpose of kids travelling to and from school. The one Andy gets in the morning has like school transport written all over the side of it. It's not a taxi that you're going to get back from a pub on a Friday night. It's this guy's job is driving kids to and from school, or specifically at the moment, driving Andy to and from school. So it's a system that seems to be working at the moment, and we just need to make sure that we get them back on track with turning up on time and not changing the vehicle around. Slight spoilers for tomorrow's vlog, because obviously I'm there now. This is a time travel vlog today. They came on time today and it was the right people and the right taxi. So clearly the whiny little email that I sent and the whiny little email that his school sent, the message has got through, everything's gone back to normal, fingers crossed. That's how it stays. Once again, really sorry that this has just been a me sitting talking to you vlog today, but I don't know if there's a problem with my SD card or if there's a problem with the camera. There's every chance this part hasn't recorded either. But I guess if you're seeing it, you can assume that it did record, and whatever was going on with the camera yesterday has stopped. Mental note for Kev, back up the footage more often. There's no reason why I couldn't have backed it up last night. But no, I'll do it in the morning when I'm editing it. Now I know that that's not a good idea. If you have enjoyed today's vlog, please make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.